Welcome to the Intuitive Therapist Podcast with Janis R. Cohen, therapist, clairvoyant, empath, and medium. Listen in as she takes a no-nonsense deep dive into real human struggles and how to resolve them. Janis will share channeled information from her spirit guide team, as well as the angels and archangels, to help you master your emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual destiny. And now, Janis R. Cohen.
Hey y'all, this is Janis Cohen, the Intuitive Therapist here on the Intuitive Therapist Podcast. I've worked with many multimillionaires in my private practice, helping them with their business development, idea exploration, and personal lives, personal development. And one thing that all of these people have in common is they have a massive drive to succeed. And this massive drive to succeed has kept them striving for more and more and more. And this need is so deep, it's in their core, that they never ever feel like it's ever quenched. And like I said, these people are multimillionaires, and yet they never feel like they have enough. And frankly, they never really felt like they were enough. Now, most of us, we're not multimillionaires and necessarily in the financial aspect. Maybe you are and you're listening to my podcast to improve some other part of your life. So I'm glad you're here. Who knows? But most of us really are chasing the American dream, the almighty dollar, in hopes that we can become that multimillionaire we believe we are in our minds and live a life that feels peaceful, where we're not stressed out. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people who've sat in front of me and wept because they didn't feel good enough about who they were. Maybe they had a secret that haunted them and they were plagued by shame their entire lives and no one knew it. They overcompensated. Maybe they made some bad decisions that cost them a lot personally and professionally, and they needed to get themselves back on track. Maybe they weren't taught how to feel confident, have healthy boundaries, think for themselves, or live with excitement instead of live in fear and scarcity. And each of these clients came with some story about what they are held back by. And each of these clients had an if-then statement in their lives, about their lives. If only I could make enough money, then I'll feel safe and secure. If only I could lose the weight, then I'll feel more confident. If only I could just get discovered on YouTube, then I'll make it. I'll know I've made it. If only I could fix my relationship, then I'll be happy. If only, if only, if only. How many of you say that to yourself all the time? If only I had this, then I could have this. Many of my clients struggle to establish boundaries as well as not feel guilty about their boundaries, especially when their partner, family member, or friend asks them to relax those boundaries because of what they want. These clients struggle to stand in their ground because if they did, certain people and certain circumstances would leave, vanish. If they kept their boundaries, their biggest fear is that they would lose something. I'm certain that you have been through an experience or experiences that jolted you into a new reality where you said, never again will I let that happen to me. I know I have. Many times in my life. And as I've gotten older, I crossed that path sooner than later. I've realized that I don't want to tolerate things that I don't align with and that don't align with me and don't align with the joy in my life. I don't want to be with people who aren't showing up for me and showing up truthfully and in alignment with my values, who aren't driven and passionate, who don't share the same values that I have, who don't want me to succeed. I am much quicker now to walk away from anyone or anything that hinders my growth and joy and that doesn't add to my life. Took me a long time to get there, but I'm here. And I'm really good with that part of my life. So enough is a decision. not an amount. If you're driven to make a lot of money to fill an emotional void, which is what I was referring to at the top end of this episode with those multimillionaires who pushed and pushed and pushed and achieved and achieved and achieved, and their achievement was great, but it was never enough. If you are driven to achieve something to fill an emotional void that you don't deal with, you will never fill it up. No amount of achievement, acquisition will fill that up. If you're driven to date a lot of people to boost your ego, you'll never cultivate and sustain self-confidence. If you're driven to acquire more and more things, the high that you get from the acquisition fades very quickly. And your come down will be more powerful than the initial high over and over and over again. If you're a people pleaser and can't set boundaries and say no without feeling guilty, or if you act like a martyr and expect self-fulfillment from any of these things, then you are in for a rude awakening if you haven't experienced it yet. You will never feel as if enough is enough. If you're somebody who gets it, who respects yourself, and can tell someone that you don't like how they treated you, regardless of their reaction, then you get it. If you're able to see when someone's motives aren't genuine and either distance yourself from them or cut them out of your life completely, then you get it. If you're driven to experience joy, fulfillment, peace, then you're only going to do the things and allow things to help you achieve what you want. Enough is a decision, not an amount. When you're sick and tired of how somebody treats you, and even more importantly, how you're treating yourself, then you get it. You will realize that enough is a decision. It's a boundary. It's a tipping point where you say, I have a void that I'm trying to fill, that I have to fill on my own. Nothing outside of me will fill it. Enough is a decision, not an amount. You will realize that you will choose for yourself, and you will no longer let anything outside of you choose for you. You will know when enough is enough, and you will decide when that is in a split second. Until then, my dear, enough will only be an amount. I want to share with you, I'm excited. I'm going to be sharing a program with you that I am delivering. It's an online program, and it is designed to help those people who are secretly struggling to reach their full potential finally do it. There's so many people out there who have this vision for themselves, say, you know what, I'm meant for more. I don't know what's stopping me. I see myself on stages. I see myself owning a store. I see myself creating a multi-million-dollar business, but I'm still stuck in this same place. And I want to help you change that. So keep on the lookout. Keep on the listen out over the next couple of weeks for my announcement. And I'm going to let you know when you can enroll. It's going to be an amazing, amazing program. And I'm going to help take you from a place of struggle and uncertainty to a place of complete trust in yourself and confidence with a plan. As always, I wish you a blessed day, a wonderful week, and always live intuitively.
Thanks for listening to The Intuitive Therapist. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend. And be sure to give us some stars and a favorable review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in.